Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and I am back to film kind of a fun video. I decided to use this kit from JLynnPaperCo. I believe it was called Bubbly Love or something like that. But I decided to do my rewind spread this week for only using stickers from the kit. She does have pretty full kits, and so I thought it would be a good time to use it. She has a lot of icons in the kits, a lot of different, flags, teardrops, to mark things down in unique ways. So I thought it'd be just kind of fun to try a spread where I'm only using stickers from a kit versus pulling in characters and other stickers from my collection. Granted, I still have a lot of stickers from my collection, but I just thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do. So I'm starting off by just laying down my date covers. I had, for her bottom washi, she has a big, thick strip of bottom washi, and then she has a little smaller strip, which is like the pink ones, with these cute little heart-shaped bubbles. And instead of layering it over the bottom washi, I decided to run it across the top out below my date covers, instead of pulling in like a header on each day, just running that strip of washi across. And I really like how that turned out, and it also helped kind of break up the blue at the top, since this kit had a lot of blue and obviously pink. And then I just put down my sidebar. My favorite box that she includes with her kits, especially for memory spreads, are her I Am Currently boxes, which is the one I put below the full box. And so it has, a book, a TV, headphones, silverware icon. And so I think it's kind of a fun way to, kind of say what you were doing that week. And so I like using them in memory spreads, especially since it is kind of a look back at your week as a whole. So on Monday, I started off by putting down a half box and the camera icon from the kit to mark down that I had 100 YouTube subscribers. So thank you guys all who subscribe to my channel. I really like to make these videos, and it's kind of exciting to think that other people like watching you. And so thank you for that. And then I put down a flag to mark down that I did some yoga. And then I did a to-do header with one of her little arrow, kind of longer arrow stickers, with a washing machine layered over it because I had to fold my laundry from last week. And then I did some editing and uploading. So I just used that little, it's like a washi roll layered over a teardrop. And then I did the full box with the chocolates on it. They look really delectable. And I've layered over kind of the matching quarter box with the same pattern and the nail polish icon to mark down doing my nails. Then I put down a TV icon at the very end of the day to mark down that I was watching the Olympics. This was the last week of the Olympics, so every day I watched the Olympics. Pretty much every day of the Olympics, I watched the Olympics, if you hadn't noticed from my other plan with me's. And then I used one of the big flags and an iPhone icon to mark down my friend had called me that day. So then moving on to Tuesday, I put down a little things label with an asterisk to mark down that I got off work early that day. And then I put down the full box, and I used the scale icon. I don't usually mark my weight. I don't actually own a scale. And so I used that to mark down going to the gym instead, since it's kind of a chunky icon. And then I put down a quarter box, kind of more of an appointment label actually, with the little coffee cup to mark down applying for jobs. Not because I drink coffee, but because applying for jobs takes a lot of time and effort and energy. And so I did that. And then I put down a to call header, and I had 3 people or places that I called that day. And so I just marked that down with a little checklist. So then I don't know what I was thinking about there. But then I'm going to put down a big flag sticker to mark down doing a face mask that night. I thought about taking a bath that night, but then with the Olympics, I ran out of time. I was too tired by the end of the night. So I did a face mask instead to kind of treat myself. So I put down a big flag for that one. And then I was trying to figure out, it didn't have very much to mark, and so I wanted to, have it take up as much space as possible without looking, I don't know, out of place or too bare. And so I ended up marking down that I fell asleep early, hence why I did the face mask instead of a bath. And with just that little quarter box at the end of the night. And then I just basically watched the Olympics for the rest of the prior to falling asleep on the couch. And so I put down the little TV little thing again, but I layered it over some washi so it could kind of take up some more space and be a little bit more decorative in that area. So then moving on to Wednesday, I got off early once again, and so I used another one of those little asterisk little things. And then I went to the gym to watch curling, because I think I've mentioned before, I really like watching curling, and my TV, I just have, the basic channels, so I had to go to the gym if I wanted to watch kind of these more special events that they don't air on normal TV, and so I ended up going to the gym while they were doing curling. And I think it was women's curling that day, maybe it was men's. But then I put down a little teardrop icon to mark down actually putting away my laundry. So you notice I folded it on Monday, but I did not put it away for a couple of days. I'm bad when it comes to doing my laundry and actually doing it all in one day. It usually kind of gets spread out a little bit. So then I put down an appointment label and the little vacuum icon from the kit to mark down I cleaned all my floors, so vacuum sweep and mop. And I also had to put down that I had stuck my new car registration onto my car, and for that, I don't know if I do it on camera or if I do it later, but I end up putting a cute little arrow sticker on the full box, or on the, not the full box, the quarter box, once I write it in, and it just looks kind of cute, but I think I wait until I write it in. So then I put down a full box with the little bubbles, and I put down that I watched the Olympics again. And then on Wednesday, I actually did have time for a bath. So I used the little razor icon from the kit, because I thought that was pretty much, beauty, taking a bath, whatnot. And then I spent the rest of the night kind of reading Grimm's fairy tales. I believe the reason why I took a bath that day was because it was downhill skiing, and I kind of got a little tired of downhill skiing by the end of the Olympics, especially because they kept showing us training runs for like Lindsey Vonn. I think they showed us training runs 2 days in a row, and so by the time it actually got to the event, I was kind of tired of skiing. I like skiing in person. I don't know if I like watching people ski that much. So then I had a bath and read a book instead of watching the Olympics all night. So then on Thursday, I had to set up an interview, so I used the little quarter box and a telephone icon from the kit to mark that down, since it would be a phone interview. And then I used that flag to mark down going to the gym and watching curling again. And then I put down a full box, the pink one with the chocolates this time. And then I also put down a strip of washi and then a laptop to mark down that I had to do some of the jobs that I've been applying to will make you do some sort of an assessment to see how quickly you can type up prescriptions or, without having any errors. And so I'd already done it for one company in particular, and then they made me do it again when I applied to other jobs in the same region. And so I thought that was kind of silly because, how much do your skills and capabilities change in the span of a week? But I did it anyways, but I marked that down. So then it was on Thursday, it was like National Margarita Day. So I used the little teardrop, and then I used the wine icon in the kit to mark down that I made pineapple coconut margaritas, and they were delicious. And then I also used a little label and a crock pot icon to mark down that I made pot roast grilled cheese. One of my coworkers made pot roast for lunch that day, and so I commented that it smelled really good, and she had mentioned that one of her son's favorite recipes was pot roast grilled cheese whenever they go out to this particular restaurant, and it sounded amazing. And so it really did taste just as amazing as it sounded and as I was anticipating it would be. It was fantastic. And then I also started knitting one of my friends' scarves, and so I used the little present icon to mark that, since it will eventually be a present. So then moving on to Friday, I started off with a full box, and I put down the little patterned quarter box that was the same pattern as the box to mark down that I had finished reading my book. I was reading Grimm's fairy tales for our book club, and so I read, I don't even know, like 120 different Grimm's fairy tales, and it was really interesting. And I also used a little asterisk to mark that as well. And then I used that flag to mark down that I started reading Anne of Avonlea, because I'm trying to read the Anne of Green Gables series as well. And so I kind of used that, started reading that after I had read the, book club book. So then I did a lot of planning on Friday, enough planning on Friday. So I just used a little header with the planner layered over top of it. And then she has these little mini teardrop icons that I used to just make a little checklist to mark down that I was planning, for next week, and then as well as my monthly. And then I put down a little things header and a half box to mark down watching the Olympics. And then I used some washi and a quarter box to mark down that I fell asleep early. Again, this whole week I was up super early and falling asleep really early. My sleep schedule was way off. And then I also used an alarm clock to mark that down as well. So then on Saturday, marking down that I got up too early because I got up at 4 a.m. And so I used a little coffee cup for that, even though I didn't drink coffee. And then I ended up writing a letter. And so I used the little letter icon from the kit over a quarter box. And then I figured out how to change my YouTube name. For a while, I wasn't sure if I could change my YouTube name because I didn't want it to change my email, name that shows up. But I researched it and I figured out how to do it, basically. So I marked that down with the little computer icon layered over just a little washi strip to cover up the little dots. Then I went to the gym to watch curling again, and this was the day that they won the gold medal, so it was very exciting. And then I came home later and I turned on the TV during lunch because I had to go to the gym at 6 in the morning to watch the rerun of it. And so I didn't watch all of it because it was a long match. But then I came home at noon and I turned on the TV and they had it on the main channel. So lies, they only put curling on TV if they win. So I also used the little mustache to mark that down since it was the men's curling team, and one of the guys actually had a pretty decent mustache. Then I did a little today header and a little checklist because I had a lot of things that I got done on Saturday, so just kind of marking them down that way. And then I used a full box with a quarter box and a lipstick to mark down getting ready because we went out for a really nice dinner, so that's what I marked in the half box with the birthday cake, even though it wasn't a birthday. So then moving on to Saturday, I started off with a checklist again, and then I marked down that I did the laundry and dishes by marking it with the bed icon and the dishwasher icon, and then I pulled in that little checklist to mark down that I was studying and I had book club that day, just because it was, getting stuff done with a little checklist. And then the last thing I marked was the Olympics closing ceremony, and I used the cute little movie marquee for that, because that's kind of a Festivus event. And so yeah, that was everything that I marked. So I don't think I marked anything else. I think I added some stickers later, but this is probably everything for this plan with me. And like I said, this was a great kit to use for a one kit plan with me. And I still had stickers left over, as you'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will just see you in my next video. Bye now.